The message read, I had a cookout at my crib with Cole. I was truly happy. First time, then got invited to the Grammys for the third time. I was chilling. Plain black was next to Hov.
All right, man. You knew this question was gonna pop up, bro. So, who are some of your musical influences, man?
Man, off the top, like Kanye for sure. You know, Joey Jazz, Kendrick, Cole. But like my musical, you know, it comes back to, you know, since I was a kid, bro. Like I had, like my mom used to play old Motown stuff in the house, you know, like the Temptations. That's why I learned the Temptations and the Four Tops and the Supremes and all that. And my older brother, he was on some other shit. He listened to, like, you know, Green Day and Yellow Card. and then you know, my sister used to play like, you know, the old, you know, the Nelly and the Usher and the Tyrese. So like, it's just really all of that, you know what I mean? Like, that's why my music is the way it is. Like, it's just all of that's just, you know, in me. Like, you know, so it's like my music can just really come from all over the place.
Okay. Once you said this, it was like it popped into my head. You said you listened to the Temptations, who else? Four Tops.
Four Tops and Supreme.
See, now that makes a lot of sense because in your music, it uses a lot of samples.
Yeah.
But the samples aren't like current samples that you would find today or like people listen to today. They're like more of the oldies, classic.
Yeah, man.
Especially with Untold Stories. That song, the intro, is like something you wouldn't, like, people nowadays don't really listen to. So it makes a perfect sense when you said that in my head.
Man.
So what was the deal with that sample? Like, what would you think about?
Well, it was actually, you know, part of the beat, but like a lot of the music that I make is like that. I just feel like, I don't know, I like samples. I feel like it puts you in a place that, you know, a lot of just beats alone can't put you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it does a good job. Like it's an introduction to where the music is going to take you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like samples. I feel like it just make the song vibe different. You know what I mean? And give it a certain feel.
And it also helps, I feel like, to get you to pay attention to the lyrics that you need to be heard.
For real, yeah.
You even do that a good job yourself. Untold Stories, once again, when it comes to that part of females asking me.
Yeah. People work that my heart.
I'm sorry. So
I'm sorry if I can't love you wholeheartedly. I'm working on it.
And there was a pause in between to the point where you're like, I'm working on it. And
yeah.
like, it's one of those things that needed to be heard.
Yeah.
And you made sure. It kind of gave me a glimpse or reminded me Drake and God's Plan. I took that break and was like, I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. But it was just that dramatic pause, and he really wanted you to hear that.
Yeah.
And it was like that. And that's what reminded me when you took that pause and like, I'm working on it.
Exactly.
So why did you feel like I'm working on it needed to be heard?
Yeah, like it was just like I said, man, it was just one of them things that, like, just like you said, it was just like it needed to be heard. You know what I mean? I feel like it, like I didn't want, you know, nothing else, like, you know, that line needed to be heard. Yeah. You know what I mean? No matter what you like, that line needed to be heard. So I didn't want any beat on that. Just the message right there.
Yeah, I feel like that's a model for most people.
Yeah,
I'm working on
it, man.
Because I mean, there's a lot of work upon our life where we're just still trying to get things together and trying to better ourselves as human beings and as people.
For sure.
So, you know, I'm working on it.
That's a chapter of my life.
I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it.
For real, yeah.
So I feel that. Back to your musical influences, you said Cole, Kanye, Kendrick. These guys are all artists as well as and storytellers in the mix. Kendrick's a storyteller as well. J. Cole's a storyteller as well. In the mix of that, they're artists, storytellers, and producers. And like we can add you to that list. Because you yourself, if I'm not mistaken, you're an artist and producer in the aspect that you produce a good portion or you have produced a good portion of your music as well.
Yeah. The first few songs that are gonna be out, you know, I went to a studio and got done. Okay. But you know, I got in my phone, in my computer, I got just songs that I've, you know, produced myself and mixed and mastered myself, everything like that. So yeah, man, I like being able to do everything myself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Self-efficient.
Yeah, definitely.
How did you learn how to like produce yourself? Because I mean, that's not an easy thing, and it's just not something you just pick up like that. So. Yeah, I mean,
I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, man. I've watched like one of my favorite things on YouTube is Rhythm Roulette. Like these like they get these producers, you know, these well-known producers, and throw them in a record store. They pick 3 random records and then just go and chop them up in the studio. And like I literally, like, that's one thing when I first got all my stuff is like I knew it wasn't gonna be easy, you know. But when I set up the studio in my dorm room, like I set it up, got all the equipment, got the program, over the program, I'm like, damn, like, it's a lot of stuff on here, you know. And so it's really, you like the track ain't come yet, but it's like it was one of them things. Like, you know, if you really want to do it, you're gonna learn how to do it. And once you get into it, like the hardest thing is like is to just not be intimidated initially by everything, because once you realize when you start producing, like, you know, you click on something and this will take you 100 different directions, and you click that'll take you 100 more. But yeah, man, just you doing it over and over again, you know, you start to realize, you know, what takes you where. So
just like you said, if you really want to do it, you're going to figure out a way to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest part of overcoming like the small obstacles in the beginning is that self-doubt. Yeah. Because there's always that doubt. Is this all really worth it? Am I really going to make something out of this? Mm-hmm. And being an athlete, you know, even in the sports, you're like, dang, am I really playing that well, or are people just telling what I need to hear? Or am I really making that big of an impact on the field and stuff like that? And once you get past those small obstacles in your head mentally, everything's mental. It's a mental race. It's a mental game. It's not like, so once you can get past those little small obstacles and those doubts in your head,
you free after that.
Basically.
Free after that.
Now, you said J. Cole. Recently, the Dreamville Revenge album dropped. What's your take on that?
That album went so hard. Well, I can't even put it. I woke up. I remember that day I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning for no reason. Like, I'm like, what am I up for? Bro? And like right after I woke up, I was like, the album just came out. And I remember I went outside. I just listened to the album from top to bottom, and it was one of those things. I was like, wow, bro, like. They really did that. Yes. And I remember right after I listened to it, I went inside and watched the Revenge documentary.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, I went in and watched the documentary, and I was like, wow, bro. And I remember I wrote 2 songs that day. Like, right after I wrote 2 songs that day, I was like, because it was so inspiring to me, bro, just the way they put everything together. It was crazy. And, like, bro, next time they have it, like, they got so many people, so many producers and artists together. Next time they got it, my phone gonna be ringing. Like, I'm gonna be there. Like,
you heard it here first.
I'm gonna be there, bro.
I'll be there to pick up the phone. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna get the invitation. I'm gonna get the invitation. I swear, I promise, man.
Speaking into existence, I like that.
That junk seems. That's just like one of the moments like that. Like those, they don't happen every day, man. I feel like that's like why music. You know, why music. You know what I mean? Because that experience, just watching it on TV, just like gave me chills, bro. I was like, that's all I want out of music is experiences like that. Yeah. So yeah, man, that was crazy.
You're a pretty big fan of the Dreamville label, am I right?
I like Dreamville, yeah. I liked them before. I became a big fan after that. Yeah. You know, I liked them, but that made me a real supporter after that.
One of a good artist that you really like comes from that label, right? Am I wrong? J.I.D., right?
Yes, sir.
So, if I'm not mistaken, just recently, you got a chance to meet J.I.D. Backstage or guest passes.
Yeah, man. Crazy thing.
Walk us through that, man. what was the thought process, the experience? Like, what was that? How was that to you?
It was the craziest thing ever. I had bought the tickets because I remember seeing he was going to be in Gainesville. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going. You know what I mean? And so I was buying the tickets, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to go and not meet J.I.D. Yeah. So I had to buy the backstage pass, meet and greet, all that. All right. And it was crazy, bro, because I remember it was in a little club. I parked like a block or 2 away. So I'm walking down the street with the phone in my hand. I'm looking at the GPS, and there was a fence right here. And I remember seeing the bus over, like just a little bit of bus over top the fence. And I'm looking, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny over there like that? And I'm looking at the phone as I walk past the fence, I look over and he's standing right there, just looking at me, bro. Like as I walk past the fence, he was just staring right at me. I was like he just standing. Like I remember looking around, like talking to nobody. Like, is he right there, bro? I remember looking at him, I was like, yo, like, I can go holler at you, bro. He's like, yeah, man, come on. Yeah. And I remember I went over and rapped for him and all that. You know, it was crazy. But that was one of them things, bro. I'm a big believer in like, you know, things happening for a reason, bro. Like I feel like that was like the way that I felt was as if I walked past, he was waiting for me. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. Like he was waiting for me.
That's real.
And it was one of those things that I feel like was meant to happen in my life for real.
So you got the spit for JID.
Yeah.
What was? You guys exchange words? Like what was his feedback?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was brief. You know, it was just like, you know, I tell he's like, yeah, man, that's real, bro. That's real, bro. I like that. You know, and then you know, we ended up going. Seeing him like an hour later when they did a meet and greet, and you know, and I dapped him up, took the picture. He's like, "Yo, keep doing that rap." He's like, "Keep doing that shit." I was like, "Yeah, it meant a lot to me, bro." And it wasn't even just like being able to rap for him meant a lot, but like the fact that I did it meant a lot to me too. You know what I mean? The fact that I, you know, because I'm not a real big like you know fan. Like I'm not really
starstruck.
Yeah, bro. But I remember seeing him. I was like, wait, like really right here, you know what I'm saying? And so like me being able to me just like, man, let's go and just rap it for him, and, you know, that meant a lot to me too, you know, just being able to do something like that.
And you said just being able to do that meant a lot, and it's part of the journey, man. Yeah. You know, because once again, back to that whole start, you never know where you're gonna go, where it's gonna take you and stuff like that. So, and that's kind of why we even started this segment. Because you need to get out there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to step outside that comfort zone. So even this segment itself, being able to come out here and share your story, telling people about yourself, it's getting yourself out there and stepping a little bit further out. And you got to start somewhere, you know what I mean? Yeah. So if this is the platform, if we can help somebody start off onto their journey, man, we're happy to do so. But even with him giving you those words of confirmation, not even confirmation, you don't need confirmation or validation from anyone because you know you're an artist, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I bet you that gave you a little more like gas in your tank to keep going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Like it was one of those things. I mean, I'm sure if I was bad, he wasn't gonna be like that. But you know, yeah, man, it just it meant a lot to me. It really did.
Where I feel love. Sure. If they said I was like my dad, dog, I fight and cuss. What can I say? But that's just what it was. Putting my dreams into place, my future looking bright now. I ain't got no patience, want it right now. Work on a whole nother level. Some niggas grinding for that ghost mother bezel. To me, look a little close to the devil. And I ain't hating, but materials ain't really good to imitate.
What are some of the messages you want to convey in your music? Because, you know, you put out a lot of music and you tell about a lot of the deep stuff that happened in your life. Mm-hmm. So what messages are you trying to convey for maybe some of the younger generation, people coming around now or in our generation now? What are you trying to get to them with that?
Man, really just being okay with yourself. You know, I guess, you know, I feel like a lot in the city, you know, we got people, you know, names like Ace and, you know, people like that. So one thing that I noticed is that everybody feel like if they not like that, then they gotta act like they like that. You know what I mean? Or you know, it's like just not everybody like that. You know what I'm saying? And so just being okay with yourself for real. Yeah, man. I mean, I talk a lot of just being okay and like communication. I feel like like it's just being honest with yourself and being able to talk like. You know, like I said, growing up, I was never really one to talk about I still don't really talk about, you know, my things that I go through or how I feel a lot, but I know it's important to, you know, and that's one thing, you know, it's just, you know, what that music has helped me do is communicate these things and express them. But yeah, man, just being able to be yourself and just understanding that you don't want to do that, it's okay. You know, if you're not like that, it's all right. Like, you know, really that.
You said nowadays in our city, if you don't have that persona, people put that persona out there as if, and I feel like that. I mean, I felt that for a while, even growing up, going through high school. You know, you always had those people who weren't really with the crowd they were with, but they just because they needed to be, just to get that image on. And I remember I used to walk into the house like, damn, man, come on, you don't really got to do all that. You know, you don't have to put that front on or put that show on. Right. But another thing you said is being okay to tell or communicate as well as show emotion. You know, one of the big advocates I've seen lately of that, or for a while now, has been Charlamagne the God. He always talks about self-care and mental health and all that.
All the time,
writing the book Shook 1, I believe Shook 2 as well, just promoting mental health and being okay. It's basically giving out that culture that it's okay to, you know, have problems and share those or discuss those problems. So I respect that in your music. Through your music, you know, with that message you're trying to send out there, on top of that, what's your musical goal at the end of it all? Like, what? I know you're not big on accolades and all that, but there's got to be something at the end of it that you want to.
I mean, I don't really have an end goal in sight, specifically, man. I'm just right now. I'm having fun and just telling my stories. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I would like to do in music, but like I said, in terms of like a definite goal, I don't really have one. I'm just I love music, and that's really that, man.
You just want to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, man. I just love music. I'm just gonna continue to put music out. So
I know you just showed me a snippet of one of your new upcoming songs.
Yeah.
And you talk about sitting there with Hope, chopping it up with Hope.
Yeah, man.
So is that something you want to do? Like, is that one of your music? I mean, it's not a musical goal, but is that something you want to arrive at? Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah, man. I mean, people like that. I feel like most of my life, man, my dreams have kind of communicated to me, like in that type of way. Yeah. And it's like, man, I just love music and things like that, like meeting Hov and meeting Cole and meeting, Kanye. Like that's the type of stuff that I've, it's a dream come true, Yeah. And so of course I would love for that type of stuff to happen. Yeah.
Once again, it goes back to that whole speaking it into existence, and just putting that out there in your music, wanting to meet Cole. And Hov, you talk about meeting Cole in that same song as well.
Yeah. So
look out for that song. What's the name of the song?
Messages from the Future.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah.
And it's gonna slide. It slides, man. All right. I know you're a busy man, and I don't want to keep you for too long. You got things to do. So tell the people what they have in store. What's next for the fans, and what can they expect?
Man, content. And stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I'm trying to put out a few more songs out here real soon. Other than that, man, I'm always working. So, I don't really know what's gonna happen. I'm not like I don't have anything in sight or anything like that. I just know I'm trying to continue to create and continue to throw things out. Yeah. I'm like finding myself as an artist and playing with a bunch of different sounds and trying different things out. So yeah, man, just the feel of music. That's what's going to continue to happen is the feel of music, yeah.
Do you have any intent for some live performances, man?
Yeah, definitely in the works. Yeah. It's definitely in the works, yeah, man. I'm really trying to get out there. I feel like that's, people in the age of social media right now. So like everything is social media, but I feel like there's nothing really does the same as being in front of somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people being able to hear you live and see you on stage, that like nothing really compete with that. You can't cut that out. Sure. So yeah, man, I got a lot of that planned.
I got you.
Yeah.
I know this Sunday, Jack Cypher's coming up. You gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there with you.
I'll be there. I won't be there.
But I appreciate you coming out, man. It means the world to have you here, especially someone I grew up with.
Man, thanks for having me, bro.
Bro, it's a pleasure, man. Any chance to help, people around us, get your name out there and show yourself to the people. I'm down with it, man.
Yeah, man.
So we're coming to an end of the Who Are You segment here on the Big Kids Living. Got my boy Mo.st here, and we're gonna wrap this up. We're wrapping this up. So I know past episode or past video you saw me with a do-rag, and now you see me with another. You're probably asking, do I have waves? I might even have waves. Answer is no, they trash. But shout out to Savage Ruthless. You see the gear, you see the drip.
Yeah,
shout out to Savage
put me in some shorts, man.
Shout out to Savage Ruthless and my boy Corey Van Dorn coming out with the line. They just dropped their summer clothing line.
Yeah, I seen it.
I'm gonna put it look fine, don't it? Yeah. So put the link. I'm gonna put the IG name down there, and you can follow that. See what they have, what the gear they have. Mo.st. Shut yourself out, man.
Yeah, man. Like my IG and my Snap is the same. Those are really my two main forms of media right now. It's the most Mo TheMostMo, and that's where I'm at.
What about SoundCloud? You got SoundCloud as well.
Snap, yeah. My SoundCloud is Mo.st Mo.st. Yes,
okay. And YouTube. You can't forget the YouTube.
YouTube is
put a visual to it.
Yeah. Storyteller. That's YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. Mo.st out here live. You already know who it is. It's your boy Ace of Spades.
Where I feel love. If they said I was like my dad, dog, I fight and cuss. What can I say, but that's just what it was. Putting my dreams into place, my future looking bright now. I ain't got no patience, want it right now. Work on a whole nother level. Some niggas grinding for that ghost mother bezel. To me, look a little close to the devil. And I ain't hating, but materials ain't really good.